Power to the truth. I'm going to call this video Third Party or No Party. P-A-R-T-Y. We now know we are in an election year, 2016. I believe that it's important to use what we can to get what we want. And we need to function within our capacity. Capacity. C-A-P-A-C-I-T-Y. For example, I have this little Samsung tablet that I'm using to do this video. I had a Canon one, which was better, a Canon video recorder that got stolen, I suspect by a dope fiend who is now dead. May she rest in peace. So I'm using what I got. We here in the USA, we have a two-headed monster called the American election system, which is the two-headed monster is the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. We need to have a third party, and even more than a third party. We need to have more than just two parties, both of which are controlled by corporate capitalism, and more people are becoming more and more aware. I think a lot because of the power of the internet and the power of social media. I've argued with folks, not really argued, just shared ideas about to vote or not to vote. I'm with Malcolm X. It is the ballot or the bullet. So we need to use what we can to get what we want. In general, we want power to the people. We want the people in power, which means they control the land and all the institutions thereon. Now we have actual psychopaths in power. And ultimately it is the people who allow them to stay in power. So we can't just blame the evil empire. It's up to the people to take responsibility for the reality that they live in. It's up to the people to overthrow this tyranny, to transform this tyranny, and to establish a true egalitarian global democracy. It's the closest thing we have to a sane government that we've been able to devise. Though it has its flaws too. When you have, say, you can have mob rule in democracy. Just go by the majority. So democracy needs to be guided and sculpted by basic fundamental moral principles. We know that the USA has strayed far away from its founding principles about liberty and justice for all. So, this is not what we have now. So we need to be realistic. And we need to evolve. Socialism is presented as an alternative economic system, though it has its flaws too. LAWS, its flaws. It comes with a lot of baggage, including many who have been killed under the banner of socialism in, say, Russia. So, we got to not get stuck in an either-or situation. Definitely, we are now under a corporate capitalist system. Corporate capitalists. Not talking about, the cute little mom and pop store on the corner. We're talking about corporativism that has taken over our lives, that affects about every transaction that we make. You want toilet paper to wipe your ass, but if you run out, you have enough for another roll. Now, these may be simple things to those who have a lot, but for poor people, these issues of basic needs are critical. Our basic needs are food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and quality education. And many people are lost. Many Americans are lost. I was talking to a couple of people here where I stay at the Shasta Hotel about the idea of Trump being president. Trump is a fascist. Hillary Clinton is a fascist. You vote for who you want to vote for. But the idea is to get off your lazy ass and go vote. Be aware of who's running, what their platform is, what their positions are on various issues, and get off your lazy ass and go vote. We talked about what's wrong with Americans. And we concluded that, one, Americans don't think. T-H-I-N-K. And two, Americans don't read. Online or offline. They might catch the headlines, but they may not study the article, or they may not click that link for that video. And Americans don't vote. So even if you have the best candidate around, and they don't vote, it still don't matter. To me, Bernie Sanders is a false flag. The false flag of hope and change. And he's still locked into that two-party system. He's a liberal Democrat, half-assed socialist, not even a real socialist. Study stuff by Chris Hedges. And I'm just here to share stuff with you, what's on my mind, what's in my heart. not to be a codependent. Don't be so damn lazy. Study for you, for your friends, for your community, and for those who you love around you, or who you claim to love. The more you educate yourself, the more you can share with other people. So this is the real. So I believe that we need to look at a third party. I'm going to vote for Jill Stein with the Green Party, and kind of go with the flow. The idea is to just vote, V-O-T-E, and you look at other countries, they're more advanced than us, believe it or not, like in Latin America. Third parties. And so we may not, for example, get Jill Stein as president this election, but we keep on pushing, we keep on raising consciousness, we keep on networking, we keep on using our creative imagination, then we can eventually build a mass movement that can transform the world. And the Americans are in a key strategic location to transform the world. If there's any American exceptionalism, I would say that is that because of our strategic location. We do hear impacts on the whole world because America is that kind of country. So right now we're lost. In general, we're lost. L-O-S-T. And there's no use pretending that we're not. There's no vanguard political party. There's no vanguard movement. You have just a bunch of believers who are scattered out, like a flock of lost sheep. So we need to use all the tactics that are applicable to our situation. I have 13 minutes here, so time out. Power to the truth. We need to understand that politics is a business of power, and it impacts on our lives on a daily basis. If there's ever to be a true democracy in the world, it needs to be what's called a participatory democracy. The people, the masses, must participate, must get involved, must come out of their shell, must become connected to connected reality, and not be isolated in their hovels, not just be stuck inside their homes. They need to reach out to other people and go to city council meetings, go to board of supervisors meetings, and go to meetings and meet people and become integrated in reality. So it's a matter of having a balance in our lives. A balance. Now those who preach against involvement in electoral politics. I understand, why they feel that way, why they think that way. The idea is that it's not going to go away just because you ignore it. Politics impacts on all of us. We need to create a true participatory global democracy that constantly reviews itself, that constantly refines itself, and that can help create a better government for all of us. So I think global, and as I'm aware of the local situation. So it's a balance. So to criticize, say, the U.S. electoral system and the way it is now with the electoral college, that flunks, where we have the majority of people who win the electoral college, win the election. If we would have gone by actual direct popular election, then Al Gore would have won instead of Bush. But Al Gore was too much of a coward to fight back. That whole 2000 election was rigged. Study it. I'm not going to do your research. But if you're interested, just study it. Damn, study. Be a student of life. Be a student of reality. And so the electoral college system has to be eradicated. We need to have direct voting. Direct voting. Keeping in mind that the U.S. was founded as a republic, not necessarily as a democracy. Study the U.S. Constitution. See if the word democracy is even in the Constitution. Remember that the USA was founded by a double genocide. Genocide against Native American people, or native people who were already here, indigenous, before there was even an America. My ancestors were here. And the genocide against Africans during the black slave trade. So the USA got off to a evil start, and now it's the most evil government in human history, where we have a general population that can't think, don't read, don't write, don't vote. And to me, they suffer from paranoid schizophrenia. And I don't mean multiple personality. I mean schizophrenia in the sense where they're not aware of history, not aware of the true nature of reality. You got some people, they're so burned out that, that they say, well, there ain't no such thing as reality, so I don't gotta do shit. See that brick wall behind me? Trust me, if I knock my head against it, it's gonna be there. So we need to have a self-concept of ourselves as citizens, not just of the USA, but of citizens of the world. And we need to be functional citizens who are active, who are aware, who are a part of their community, and who help one another. Because we need more than just a new government, a new economic system. We need a new culture. A culture of free people. A culture of loving people. A culture that cultivates art, music, poetry, and other manifestations of culture that are going to uplift people, raise consciousness, and help to bring together the masses of the people. These are dangerous times that we live in. On any given day, you can go out in the street and there's a maniac with the potential to start blowing people away. Now, when you have a government that just launches war, when you have a president that has a kill list for Tuesdays, who to drone attack, then the idea of murdering someone doesn't seem so off the wall. Thou shalt not kill. No matter what you believe, you should consider the Ten Commandments. So we need to see ourselves as active citizens, participate in the building of a people's democratic culture, and be aware of what's going on, follow the news, and do that throughout the year. Hell, now you can just sit on your ass and do a write-in ballot. There's no excuse for not voting. And if you're not going to vote, and you're not going to pick up the gun, what are you going to do with your life? What's your mission? What's your purpose? Are you here just to eat and shit? Satisfy your animal desires? Or are you here to make a difference? To educate yourself? And no matter how old you are, you can still learn. I'm 64 and I learn every day. So we need to create a consciousness that will help cultivate a third party of one kind or another, an alternative to the two-party monster that we have now with the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Now, when I was coming up, I was raised, as a Democrat. Then we had the JFK, picture on the wall, and practically worship him like Jesus Christ. And now I'm an independent voter. I relate to some aspects of anarchy. I support the Green Party, but I'm not fixated right now on just one party. I created a concept called Humane Liberty Party. So I'm saying be aware, be active. Feel free to share this video with others, and I hope that I'm not just wasting my time talking to someone who's blind, deaf, and dumb. But if so, at least I feel better about myself, where I feel more like I did something today. So let me work with this, and then feel free to give me feedback. As I always say, and rarely get, and every day make progress. Seek progress, not perfection. And if every day you learn more, if every day you love more, if every day you raise your self-esteem and help raise the self-esteem of other people, then you've made progress. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. Take care of yourself and take care of your families. Venceremos. Power to the people.